is not necessarily in adherence to personal and national justice, but rather in a willingness to compromise on it. And in doing so, perhaps we will be able to establish a reality of peace, a reality that may become the authentic expression of our desire for peace. On a personal note, I would like to add a few words. I am 47 years old. When my generation was about 3 years old, there was a very harsh and bloody war between Israel, the state of Israel, and its neighbors, the Yom Kippur War in 1973. 20 years later, in 1994, a song called Children of Winter 1973 was written. It became a very known song in Israel, which is sang in many ceremonies, school, social gatherings, and more. The words of this song describes the process by which the children who were conceived during and immediately after the 1973 Yom Kippur War became disillusioned with the promises of the old generation of a peaceful future with no wars. One line of the poem says, "You promised to do everything for us, to turn an enemy into a loved one." It remains the echoing, unfulfilled promise for the following generations. This poem became the pledge taken by one of Israel's most loved prime ministers, Yitzhak Rabin, who, as I mentioned before, was assassinated by an Israeli citizen 22 years ago. Rabin, who maintained for most of his adult life the image of a brave soldier who was among those in his generation who were willing to sacrifice almost everything they had for the establishment of the State of Israel. He was the chief of staff of the IDF, commanded during times of wars. When he became the Prime Minister of Israel, he decided to do all that was in his power to make the Israelis and the Palestinians abandon the path of hate, and to keep the promise to turn an enemy into a loved one. For this, and shortly before he was assassinated, he received a Nobel Peace Prize. The words of this song were used by him as a source of inspiration, and in times of great grief, he allowed its words to fill him with the patient strength and hope necessary to shed the heavy armor of a warrior and wear the uniform of peace. With your permission, I would like to quote parts from the poem, which seems to be valid today just as they were in the past. We are the children of winter 1973. You first dreamt us at dawn at the end of the battles. You wanted to fill the loss of your loved ones with us. When we were born, the country was wounded and sad. You looked at us, you hugged us, you were trying to find comfort. When we were born, the elders blessed with tears in their eyes. They said, "We wish these children will not have to go to the army." And your faces in the old picture prove that you said it from the bottom of your heart when you promised to do everything for us, to turn an enemy into a loved one. You promised an olive tree leaf. You promised peace. You promised spring at home and blossoms. You promised to fulfill promises. We are the children of winter 1973. We grew up and are now in the army, with our weapon and helmet on our head. We know how to make love, to laugh and cry, and we too dream about babies. When we were young, you said promises need to be kept. We will give you strength if that is what you need. We will not hold back. We just wanted to whisper. We are the children of that winter in the year 1973. In the spirit of the lyrics, I wish myself, my people, and all people peace. I ask this for the Palestinian people and the Arab peoples around my country. I ask this for all peoples in bitter and difficult conflicts around the world who suffer so badly because of wars on justice or just wars. Our little children marching towards the future demand of us to make all possible so that they will grow into a world of peace. May we know how to understand the other, accept, respect one another's beliefs and hopes, and see all this as the ultimate guide to peace. even at the painful and sometimes necessary cost of giving up the private and national justice each of us holds is so dear to his heart. Let us end with an ancient Hebrew blessing. Adonai oz le'amo yiten, Adonai yevarech et amo b'shalom. The Lord will give his people strength. The Lord will bless his people in peace. Thank you very much for your attention.